And we are active. B-Eazy, that dude. Discussion with that dude. Discussion with them dudes. John Sinatra. What it do, man? You gotta put the S capital. What are you doing, bruh? Write your name. Hold up.
It's in the, my name's on there.
No, I said you gotta make the S capital. The S in Sinatra needs to be
I thought I did that when I did it.
I was like, put some respect on your own name.
I got a bag out and come back in to do that.
Nah, you might. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if you want to, I mean, you could back out and come right back in and do it. There should be a way that you can. There should be a way that you can edit it, though. I'm not sure. But while you do that,
all right, I'm about to bag out and come back in there. But send that link to my
already
IG
did.
so I can. All right.
And shout out to the people that's in the chat. Shout out to the people that will be watching this on the replay. Random, impromptu, but we gonna make it good. It's gonna be spicy, you know what I mean? But you know, spicy content has the best flavor. Am I right? Okay. And while we get this ready, I like to let y'all know that you can be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. And for that, we thank you. Salute.
Like a cholo in the club, I'm 20 deep. I don't be riding solo. Pull some bad bitches, they vanilla and cocoa. They wanna take some photos when we kick it out in Soho. Chicks are showing tits and popping pussy for my promo. Throw them like juvenile, baby, move it for me slow-mo. Then I'm right back to the block, cause I keep getting moto. I be flipping, not shrinking. I don't give a fuck about no This nigga name ain't D-Lo, but pimpin' these bitches and stacking this ring forever be my stilo. This is B-Eazy, that dude in the trap making pass smooth. If I ever go broke, then I'm about to pull a jack move. Since a nigga healthy, I don't even gotta worry. With my bitch from Fiji, eating tandoori and chicken curry. That ism is really in me. My pimp game international. I design my own clothes, so I be always looking fashionable. Here's a couple facts about me that y'all didn't know. Some of y'all be getting bread, but I be getting bigger, dawg. I got bigger guns and a whole lot of better.
Okay. B-Eazy, that dude. I'm just waiting on John to come through, but we got quite a few different directions we're gonna go with this. I would say if you would like to make a contribution, feel free to donate to the Cash App. It's right on the screen. Easy stack. Any, all contributions are appreciated. $1, $1 million. We are joined by the illustrious guest, John Sinatra. What's good, bro?
B-Eazy, what's popping? What's the word, bro?
Man, I'm just gonna get right into it, man, because it's late and I know that everybody time is extremely precious. It's so much stuff happening in these streets the YouTube streets, the actual streets. There's always virtual reality and actual reality. And one of the hot topics right now is what's going on in Atlanta. Atlanta was, and I still believe that it still is, a black mecca. How long it's going to remain that, I don't know. It does seem to be fading fast, and a lot of people, not enough people, don't seem to have enough pride to stand up for the culture of the collective community there. Because now it was Black Atlanta, and now with the influx of legal and a lot of illegal immigrants, they're changing the landscape of it. And now it went from Atlanta to Black Atlanta to Ratlanta. So some people think that's a bit overstated to say, hold on, you can't say that about Atlanta. But that's kind of a growing theme right now. Have you heard the chatter about that?
Yeah, about they calling it Ratlanta.
Yes.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, everybody that you see, that's all over the blogs, all over the internet and shit. They got all the little the situations going on and leak footage and whole bunch of distractions, whole bunch of confusion, just a whole bunch of you know. I'm really, like I was saying, I'm glad that it's getting exposed though, because this type of stuff need to happen so people just really just fall back off the idol worship. You feel me? Because when it comes to celebrities and or just athletes or rappers or just entertainers, period, we put everybody on too high of a plateau anyway. And we give these folks the opportunity to really just become influencers over the youth and community just in general. Like, you feel me? Not saying that they shouldn't have a voice or shouldn't have, because you feel me, I take my part in entertainment as well. But I'm just saying we gotta stop looking to for these celebrities to be fake weight politicians and just activists, and not saying that they can't be that, but it just kind of, it don't really go together, you know what I'm saying? Because one is going to take away from the other, and then at the end of the day, if all you doing it for is a dollar, then that's going to conflict with your what how far you standing on something, how far you willing to go, because everything is politics, right? So if you're gonna be in a rap game and you're gonna be pushing this, you know uh which is hip hop, so it's all about what's hip and what's new and what's in style, you're gonna be pushing that. At the same time, it's not always in style or hip to be you know beyond the standards of politically correct. So, it might not be cool for you to speak out against certain things, but so a lot of times people will take the back seat, like, okay, I ain't gonna chop it up on this or go to really touch on this too much because I got sponsors and these labels and the people that's sponsoring the industry. They not gonna push nobody with a voice that's really gonna be talking about anything that's gonna wake the sleeping giants out here. You know what I mean? Which is the people. So like I say, I'm glad that the stuff getting exposed, because it just get to show you that at the end of the day, everybody is humans. I feel like we get caught up in the social media space and people forget that at the end of the day, everybody gotta breathe, everybody gotta sleep, everybody gotta go, use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? If you get cut, you gonna bleed. You know what I'm saying? If you hit your elbow or your toe on the corner of the wall, you gonna say ouch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody above, criticism. Ain't nobody perfect. And like I say, it's that idol worship, bro. A lot of people with the Young Thug situation and all the other rappers, whether it be Atlanta or New York or California, they people just get caught up in these songs and this image, and they feel like it's real life, and it really ain't. So when you really get to see how these folks be reacting in real life when they lose access to their money, their protection, and they really got to do a little bit of time, you see how they be breaking. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is this, right? Jail ain't for nobody. It's like nowadays you got platforms like No Jumper and all these other they was built off of hip hop, but now it's just kind of just straight, just about who beefing, what gang beefing with what other gang, and just straight crime inquiries and just stuff that really shouldn't even be broadcasted like that on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, and I'm saying that's leading it down to a path to where it's getting people, yeah, it's getting views because people like mess, people like gossip, people like beef, people like drama. You know what I'm saying? Like we all see it. You gonna look at it. If somebody start fighting right next to me right now, it's gonna get my attention. You know what I'm saying? Like it's captivating to a degree, so I understand it. But what I'm saying is it's opening up the doors for us to enter into. It's not even about no type of skill or substance or actually talking about nothing that's gonna actually improve nothing no more. It's just all about self-destruction. And they promoting it, and we the ones that's losing. We getting all the views. You know what I'm saying? It was cool when you know what I'm saying, they sell all the records and get these record labels rich. It's cool when, you know what I'm saying, you get all the views to the YouTube page and the commercial ads get played and everybody, the revenue get made for the channel. But then it's like when the people that's the entertainers end up with the short end of the stick, because they got to go sit down and do some jail time, or they die, or they take a loss some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it ain't no win for them, and at the end of the day, it's exploitation. So it's like I say, you got the kids, they thinking it's cool to be a gang member. You know what I'm saying? They feeling, which let's be real, if you joining the gang, you joining something that was already, you know, created before you even came and was thought of, and now you just became a follower. So you gonna follow behind something, you know what I'm saying, that really is made was I guess when it was the origins of it, it was made with positivity. It had a positive uh
Correct.
origin. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But what it turned into now is just, you know what I'm saying? You just basically gonna be throwing your life away just to say, oh, I'm a part of this. Like everybody wanna be a part of something, you know what I'm saying? So you got the young thugs and they the slimes and the
Well,
slacks.
it reminds me of the Paul Mooney saying when he said everybody wants to be a nigga, but nobody wants to be a nigga. To what your point when you said everybody wants to be a part of something, it's like everybody wants to be a part of something, but they don't want to be a part of something. So they are saying that they want to be a part of something. Yeah, I want to be a part of something. I want to be a part of a community. I want to be a part of a brotherhood. But you can only be in a brotherhood if it's a gang. You can only be a part of a community if it's a gang community that's harming a community. And then when you know all the memes where it be funny and stuff, where it's like, you know, F them kids, right? That's all funny, right? But, you know, people take it and people internalize it and take it literally, right? Then you got deadbeat parents. Then you got people that's being PDF files and touching kids and doing all sorts of inappropriate stuff with kids. All of this falls under F them kids, right? Why should I care? It ain't my kid. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro. Like, if that's the type of society that we're living in, why do you think they have neighborhood watches and all this other type of stuff? Because if you out working 10, 16 hours, it's going to be some stuff you ain't, you know, you may be on your way driving towards, you know, to your house because somebody says F them kids, they ain't going to report a creepy little van that's grabbing up kids and all this other type of stuff. Or the school, the school is putting your kid, you know, trying to say that your kid is mentally retarded and want to put them in this class. Oh, F them kids. It ain't my kid, man. Maybe that little nigga is stupid. You see, I'm like, nah, they setting them up for the school to prison pipeline, and you niggas know this stuff. You'll talk about it in rap songs, and then when it's being lived out in real time, you won't do nothing. Oh man, I'm finna go slide on the ops. Your ops is the school board. Your ops is the city council. Your ops is the sheriffs. Your ops is all of these corrupt politicians. Your ops is the preachers and pastors. Those are your ops. You ain't trying to slide on them. And I ain't talking about slide on them to promote no violence. Don't they always talk about pressuring niggas? Don't they be talking about pressing niggas? Here, man, what hood you from, right? But they won't press a politician that's helped to stabilize their community. They won't help a politician that let off a crooked cop. That's who y'all should be pressing. So when y'all not doing that, Y'all should be pressing who's doing the oppression, but instead it's like a bully who know that there's bigger bullies, and instead of stepping to them, you find the skinniest, scrawniest, weakest dude and say, I'm gonna beat him up. That's some coward stuff, bruh. That you get no respect from me on that. But let me take it back a little bit to the whole and it looks like we got Braxton in the building. Shout out to Braxton. And I don't even know what you doing up late. This my homie from Louisiana. What up? Oh, they.
Shout out Louisiana too. I got folks.
So you touched on some good stuff, and I do want to touch back on what you were saying because you was cooking. I wanted to chime in, but you know what I mean. I seen you was flipping and adding the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And we got little Broody in the building. What's up, Ak? So let's run down the list because they calling it Ratlanta, and I think that's funny, but is that truly appropriate? So let's start. Let's start with Gunna, right?
Yeah.
So Gunna, I'm gonna set this up for you, and then I'm gonna have you chime in. Gunna. In December 22, Gunna's name is Sergio Kitchens. He is a close collaborator with Young Thug. He took what's called an Alford plea deal. That's pleading guilty while also maintaining innocence. That's what it is. An Alford plea deal. So he pled guilty but maintained his innocence. And what he pled guilty to was 1 count of racketeering. That's from the RICO charge. He admitted that YSL was a gang and he was released after time served. So this sparked the accusations. People like Lil Durk, Lil Baby, they distanced themselves from him. They called him on social media. They called him a rat. In interviews, Gunna denied snitching and said that he's not a rat. And Young Thug's father even publicly defended Gunna, stating that no, he did not cooperate against his son. Based on the information that you know, do you believe Gunna to be, you feel me? Was he telling, or is, people just got this situation misconstrued?
Well, it's like, yeah, because at the end of the day, like, if we go to hard, especially with something like a RICO, anything that was pleaded to, all really got if I plead guilty, that I'm basically saying you guilty too. There's no way around it. Now, yeah, true enough, and that he might just want. I don't want to try. I'm not fight against. I just that type of I can. I see why I get it, but.
Hey, your phone is kind of breaking up. Like,
you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you clearly now. It was
Okay.
just chopping in and out.
I think it may be because I had it just sitting where I had it sitting at, but I'm straight right now, right? I'm good.
Yeah, you good to go.
Okay, so look, this is what I'm saying. It is because of this simple fact. If me and you are on any type of case together where we are co-defendants, especially a RICO, I can't plead to nothing that we are both being charged with as an individual. So that's just like if they say we go into Walmart and I steal a Pepsi soda, and then but you was with me, and they stop both of us, and they like, okay, they see we together, so they they hem both of us up, and they say, hey man, you guys stole the soda, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, nah, we ain't do nothing. So basically we speaking for our innocence. Then we end up going to jail for it. And while I'm in jail, you end up just saying, you know what, I stole the soda, man. I'm sorry. I just want to plead out. Okay, by you saying you stole the soda, you saying I stole the soda too, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. So it is, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's
Yeah,
just
well, this is where they're getting them because Young Thug is maintaining that no, YSL is not a gang; it's a music organization, and the gang affiliations is more like entertainment. It's more like WWF, WWE wrestling stuff. And then when Gunna comes and says, okay, look, I'm not pleading guilty to none of the other stuff, but yes, YSL is a gang.
You just said it.
I'm like,
You just said it, bro. That's
yeah.
what but this is my thing, right? Why is this even a convert? Why is this? I don't even know why people is acting like this is something where there's an opinion. It's no
Now
really no way to look.
nobody knows what snitching is no more.
Don't nobody know what snitching is no more. What do you think snitching is? What do you think snitching is? Bruh, we not gonna play these games, bro. You just said it right there. He said it's a gang. That's what the Rico's saying it's a gang. So nigga, if you say it's a gang too, then okay, well, we got one of them.
Now, yeah, now exactly, because now Young Thug is saying no, we're not a gang, and that's why you can't put this stuff on us. And then Gunna is saying no, don't put that stuff on us. But yeah, we are a gang. It's like, yeah, you just made it easier to put that stuff on them. You know what I mean? And like you said, you going against what your co-defendant is saying. You know, it's like, hey, what was y'all at the scene of the crime? Nah, we wasn't there. Oh yeah, I ain't pleading guilty, but yeah, we was there. Come
Right.
on, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I really feel like they could have rolled that out, bro. To the end, they would have been cool, man. I just think that time was just cracking them, bro. They you gotta look at it like this. These dudes is junkies on top of being superstars. So it's like they sipping lean every day, smoking weed every day. They got all the women they got access to. Bro, you take that away from them for a little bit of time, bro, and then they can't get up and go shower when they want to. They can't, bro. That's gonna break a person who is not, especially if you don't come from that.
they ain't built like that. And hold on, in the chat, hold on, gotta give a shout out to Braxton because he on the East Coast. He says he's up just watching his favorite shows, catching some streams. I know you were supposed to come on the stream last night. What happened? And then we got Lil Broody in the building. He says, right, he could have pleaded the fifth and not said nothing. Like, bro,
Right.
you didn't have to you didn't
Yeah,
have to
bro,
spill the
especially,
beans, bro.
hey, and you know what too would get me beat? They got all the money with the lawyers. They got high powered attorneys to what at least Gunna and Thug did. So it's like your attorney couldn't get on one accord with his attorney, and I don't know. It's just at the end of the day, yeah, I can see why Young Thug feel like he just snitched on him and shit like that. Like, that is how it just looked. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, too, he ain't the only one. Shit, all of them was.
Okay. No, so that's what I was gonna say. So now we can move on from Gunna, and then so it was also other co-defendants, several YSL's members, i.e., Walter Murphy, who was DK, and
Yeah,
Kenneth Copeland, who was Lil Woody, and they became key witnesses for the prosecution.
right.
That you're a key witness for the prosecution, a witness for the people who are trying to bring the Rico and get us all locked up. You chose to be a witness for them. So
Yeah,
Lil,
wait. Since we talking about the little Woody dude, Kenneth Copeland, that's the name.
correct.
This dude, when I read the little paperwork I seen, it says this started because he was at a club somewhere and he got into a some type of argument or fight with, not, I don't know if it was YFN, Lucci, people, whoever is cool with the dude that got killed, Nut or whatever that got killed, his gang. He got into it with them. They end up beating him up, robbing him. He go back and tell Young Thug and them, and that's how the war really just spark off. So essentially, this all starts from Little Woody getting into an altercation. You go get everybody else involved to fight your battle with you, but then you end up, you doing some shooting, some killing, whatever you doing all that, but you snitching, and then you end up snitching on the people that's backing you up, but you really got them in the whole thing, like, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, that just show you how slimy the game is. That's how I be working in the world. I didn't see a situation like that happen just growing up. It'd be, we all a big group of friends, but it's always one coward, you know what I'm saying, that he don't want to fight his own battle, so he want to throw you in there, try to get you involved with it. Now that you involved, you he really kind of stepping back, and you overly fighting the battle more than him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with this. It's a YSL week Rico, and now Young Thug, he end up getting rich. But yeah, you rich, but now this dude you was connected with then got you in a war, and he snitching on you. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It was just a bad. It just, like I say, bro, that whole case is just a good example for these kids to look at and just see all this street shit is goofy, bro. I'm just gonna keep it 100, bro. All the gang shit is goofy. You know, grown men, you know what I'm saying, talking about you got big homie, little homie artists, bro. Ain't nobody helping you build nothing. Ain't nobody helping.
Grown man calling another gang member twin.
Well, you can look at that, you know, because that'd be like a slang. But yeah, they be saying that shit, man. For real.
I'm not against it. I get the slang of twins, so it's not against the slang because I know cats in Detroit and they be saying "What up, my baby?" In Louisiana they used to say "What up, daddy?" You know what I mean? So I get different slangs from different areas, but what I'm just saying is a lot of them cats be on that type of pause type shit. You feel me? A lot
Yeah,
of them cats be on that type time, and
for
then you
sure.
feel me, quick to call people squares and civilians and shit, and then you run around calling some other nigga sagging his pants twin. You I don't know, it just looks like kind of juvenile and goofy.
It is.
You
That's why I can
niggas
say it's some young nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I can understand. Young, you know, when you younger, bro, you don't really have a overlook, an outlook on how stuff really is seen and perceived. The older you kind
correct.
of get this look outside yourself. Like, okay, you know, I was looking kind of goofy doing some shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Why would I? So you know what I'm saying? I understand it, but like I say, they all grown ass men and shit. So we ain't all
Exactly.
about.
So that's why we can't get him to pass. See,
Yeah, we ain't gonna.
we was those young niggas, and then if we didn't have the proper guidance, we had more people encouraging it, and actually certain behaviors was rewarded in a certain sense, right? Like
Yeah,
let's say you was out doing some foolish thuggery in the streets. Yeah, you shouldn't have been doing it, but you feel me? Uh you know, there was a lot of people that feared you, where it's like, oh, I don't want to mess with him. People could see that as a benefit, right? Like I know cats ain't gonna mess with me. Then you know, I think it was DMX or somebody that had, why do good girls like bad guys and all that stuff, right?
yeah.
So when people was into that buffoonery, you do attract a lot of chicks from that. You feel me? Why you think they chicks is always complaining about the Pookie and Ray Ray? Because y'all choosing these thug niggas that's, you feel me, out in the streets catching bodies. They bodying in the streets and then they coming and beating your body up. You feel me? So there have been
Hey,
rewards for it. So it,
yeah.
it kind of keeps people want to keep going back to it. Oh damn, I'm getting money. Oh damn, I'm getting notoriety. Oh damn, I'm getting bitches. Why should I stop? You know, and then they try to demonize other stuff. Oh, you're a civilian, you're a square. Yeah, he's a square, but he's making more money than you. Oh,
Mm,
you square chick. Yeah, but you got a hoe that got 100,000 miles with multiple STDs. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
who's the real square? I've been saying it for some years now. Street
Yeah,
nigga, not
but
all.
look,
Go ahead.
no, yeah. To elaborate on what you saying, all of that, right? And it's like women don't realize how much of a factor they play in it because dudes really is going whatever the females think is cool is what men is gonna lean towards rocking with. You feel me? If females say it's just like a lot of females now they be saying, oh, they want a dude that's tall. That make dude the average person ain't tall. They ain't 6 feet in America for sure. So that's gonna make regular sized dudes gonna want to do what? They gonna want to appear as taller. So they probably gonna
Mhm.
wear Timberland boots, or they gonna wear some shoes that make them look anything to appeal to what these females be wanting.
Some dudes is
Uh,
getting height implants. Did you see that dude?
yeah, I seen him, bro. He done got his legs broke so they can
Yeah, he broke.
breathe with some the craziest
They
shit. That's
put
a whole
some metal
nother.
rod,
That's a whole nother shit, right? He took it to the furthest degree, like, bro.
bro.
But
Like, bro was like five. Bro was
nigga was
like
like
five.
5'5". He when now he like 6'2" or some shit.
Bro, like 6'3".
6'3". You feel me? He didn't have to learn how to rewalk again. Some crazy shit, right? But look, they be really. It's like a lot of women. I'm not saying all women. For somebody getting here trying to say, "Oh, well, I don't." I'm not saying you. I'm saying the majority of women. You know what I mean? Um, they be pushing that agenda of what's sexy, what's masculine, what's attractive, what's all this stuff, but it be the toxic shit. So of course, you know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it real. Since when in school, because we gotta go back to how we came up. When in school did the dude that get the good grades and he get the females too, and he do it usually don't go like that. You know
I
what I'm saying?
present to you Steve Urkel.
Look, right? So you feel me? Come on, bro. And that's a good example, right? But it's like, being a bad guy or bad boy, a street nigga, however you want to say it, it got its pros and its cons. And one of the pros is that is champion amongst our culture. You know what I'm saying? And people don't want to admit it, but that's just the facts. A spade, man. Straight up and down. If you stepping, if you slanging, you hustling, you trapping, you pimping, you whatever you doing that's usually illegal, you know what I'm saying, where you can actually cut some corner and get some faster money, that's champion. So and we gonna aspire to be that, and that's how we get groomed. We get groomed by the females that we like, you know what I'm saying. You got a crush on a girl, but she like the dude, you know what I'm saying, that's already driving. The dude that driving, he don't got no license, nigga, he don't got no job, he just, you feel me, he probably stealing car, you don't know, but I'm just saying, so that makes you want to get it by any means just to get to that standard. And we live in times where everybody wants something instantaneously. Females don't want to work out at the gym to get their body. They want to go get the BBL or just take a pill that's gonna make them just have ass and titties. The men don't want to just work out at the gym and get muscles. They want to go get, yeah, shit. I seen Drake. He done got a whole abdomen. Some blow up, six packs and shit. You got niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody want a quick fix. So it's like you can apply that to everything. You know what I'm saying? The same way they want a quick fix for, fast money, fast looks or muscles or whatever. They want fast results from, things that really take years and years of hard work to be, achieving. So you got everybody trying to cut corners. One thing I want to that stood out to me too, I heard Young Thug talking about today. He was talking about how he had paid $50,000 so that Gunna's album could stream #1. Bro, I be trying to tell people all the time, the game is rigged, man. You can't get caught up in these numbers. They say numbers don't lie. Yes, they do, bro. Numbers lie every day. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It might be lying right now. Like I only see like six
Well,
people.
there's a book where somebody has where it's called How to Lie with Statistics, right? Because lies are also by omission, right? If you know the truth, but you don't tell the truth and you just only tell part of the truth, a half truth is a lie by omission, and you can always twist the numbers in your favor. So that's why sometimes they use raw numbers, sometimes they use per capita, sometimes they use percentages as well. They'll say something like, so let's say yesterday you had an album and it flopped, you sold 0 copies, but then today you sell 2. That means that your album sales went up by 200%. Are they gonna say that you sold 2 albums, or are they gonna say album sales up by 200% today?
Right.
which is which is that is facts, right? You sold 0 yesterday, you sold 2. That is a 200% increase on sales, but it's still 2 CDs. So that's how they kind of lie with statistics and manipulate numbers as well.
Facts. You feel me? It be manipulation, bro. And like I say, the more this case, what I'm saying, it's over with now, but it now stuff is getting exposed, like the inner sides of it, you know what I'm saying? What he was saying on the phone. He did an interview today talking about how he was feeling when he was locked up in there. All this stuff is key points on just looking at how easy it is to build something up, tear it down, and ultimately corporate America is who benefit off this shit. They can make another Young Thug like this, bro. They can make another Gunner. They can make another YSL, because like they say, the game don't change, only the players. You know what I'm saying? The game is the same, bro.
And
You know
that's
what
what
I'm saying?
they're showing. No, because let's elaborate on that, because you're talking about that phone call, right? They
Mm-hmm.
sat on that phone call. How long was Thug sitting down in jail, going through the trial, right? He
Like
went in
2 years or something.
2 years, right?
Yeah.
So those calls are over a course of 2 years. The people that the people that released it now are the same people that had access to those files then. And I'm not saying that they should have released it, but why did they release it now? You
Bro.
see,
The good. Nobody's thinking about that. Why is this coming out? Because we ain't never think about it, bro. Everybody that went to jail, bro. Entertainers, we ain't never heard nobody jail phone calls leaking out like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Suge. Suge is doing a podcast, right? But they're not leaking. They're not leaking any of Suge's calls, and if they do, they only leak on something that he said about P Diddy or Ray J. You notice
right?
that? Come
Yeah,
on now.
but
You mean
but
to tell me that all of Suge calls is about Diddy and Ray J? Come on now.
Suge is behind putting that because he got to deal with
Spotify or
Dave
something, right?
Mays. No, I think it's Dave Mays. I think the nigga that used to own the Source magazine. I think that's who.
And Lil Broody says the game is rigged. It's a part of their agenda. Facts.
Facts. It's a part of the agenda, and that's what we saying. Y'all, nigga, if that's the case, we could have been. Why we ain't heard Tupac jail calls coming out and all this?
Exactly. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like you said, they been having jail calls and they could have released it at any time, but they waited and peeped this. Thug been out for a few months, right? Nigga have been dropping multiple videos, doing appearances. He been going on a tour calling everybody else a rat. And then suddenly they drop his calls. Why didn't they drop Gunna calls? You mean to tell me Gunna didn't talk to anybody?
Facts. He definitely was in that motherfucker talking.
Come on now.
And that's the thing, bro. That's why I say you gotta always ask, why are they showing us this? Because it's all for us to react. And that's why
Exactly.
I don't even go ahead.
Because they're getting paid off of the engagement, right? And it's all a distraction, right? While they're gentrifying our neighborhoods, dropping a bunch of illegal immigrants, poisoning our water supply, making it so that you or your kids won't be able to afford a house. But at least you got content from No Jumper, and you can argue whether who gives a fuck. I mean, now we're just breaking it down just because we're giving, like Jason Black like to say, the 720 degrees of analysis that you ain't gonna find nowhere else. That's why we're breaking this down. But realistically, no, I don't give a fuck about this. I care about mutual aid, empowering, enriching my community, and it does start with breaking down some of the BS from a perspective that's not often seen. See, when people want to hear what's going on here, they're gonna go listen to Whack 100. They're gonna go listen to Rollo and 6ix9ine. You seen that video?
Bruh, I seen that shit, man. How is 4 niggas that's all allegedly snitching get on here talking all this nigga? It's just everybody, all these niggas involved.
This is why.
That's why I can't. This is funny, bro. I look at that shit and click on.
What happened to the game, John?
It's a wrap, bro. It's over with.
It's a wrap. The era that. Hold on. Let me bring up my boy Braxton. Hold on, Braxton. Is that you? Don't p-bomb me. Is that you, Braxton?
No, you don't have to ever worry about me doing that. And yes, it's me.
Okay, cool. This my bro. You over here? You still in Louisiana, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Now and forever.
Yes, sir. Salute to the Brody. Salute to the dirty. And before I get to you, Lil Broody says the same thing with the fake beef between Kendrick and Drake, like how they showed a video of Drake kissing that 17-year-old girl on stage. I mean, I that was a real video of him kissing. Now,
that was real.
Now,
that was real shit. There ain't nothing fake about that. But
I hear what you're saying on the fake beef. I can't say the beef was really fake. I'll just say it was orchestrated. You feel me? Because I think it was turning out to be a fake beef, and then Kenny, he just bodied Drake so bad that it turned into a real beef. Do you know when it turned real? When Drake is trying to sue, and he's still trying to sue. He's asking to get his contract. He's accusing him of bots. That's what makes it real. So it could have been a fake beef, but he just thought he was going to do what he did to Meek Mill, and he got bodied. You feel me? So, the singing nigga got bodied. That's all it was. And then he says, I'm saying they been had a video. Why didn't y'all show it when it happened?
Good point. Nobody was shining the light on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's all we talking about. And John, I'm gonna go back to you, but Braxton, did you have anything to chime in? Are you caught up with what's going on in with Young Thug and the state of Atlanta, aka Ratlanta?
Oh no, I think I might have heard bits and pieces of it, but not fully.
Okay, cool. So let me just let John finish, and then I'm gonna come back to you on that one. John, go ahead and finish your point.
Okay, yeah, I kind of forgot. I know we was talking about the Kendrick and Drake. How it started off really kind of like some labels probably wanted to pump it up, but then it got serious when Kendrick really just shitted on Drake so hard. Drake got his feelings hurt.
Yeah, Drake
But
just wasn't expecting that because people had put the battery in Drake's back, so he thought he was untouchable. But Lil Broody says the elites don't like the Most High chosen people, and the sellouts don't either. It's modern day slavery. Well, slavery was abolished except for if you're in prison, and this is in plain day in the Constitution. That's why even when they try to get people to go out and put out the fires, they want you to put out the fires that even trained firemen won't put out. All of the things, a good paying job in prison is like 52 cents. You know what I mean? And some will say, hey, well, that's not slavery because at least they got paid and slaves didn't get paid. So it's like in between the indentured servitude, but it's essentially slavery. They say you're a ward of the state. Like, so you got to really think of that. That means you're property. What were slaves? Property, right? So,
yeah, just like Drake,
come on now.
Property shit. Drake property.
Exactly.
And what a lot of people don't know too is Kendrick
Lamar.
Hold
on. Let me read this, and then you can respond to it. Lil Broody says he's suing because they took his budget money for his album and gave it to Kendrick because the record label making money moves. Because they're both in the same record label. Yeah, the record label, they playing both sides off top. And the thing is, I think Drake just got salty because imagine me and you, John, on the same team, but it's like they just back the other horse. You feel me? They like, it's two big dogs, and there's like, yeah, Kenny is the bigger dog. That's all it seems like Drake is mad about.
Yeah, but it's like, go ahead. Drake got a super big ass budget. I don't even think they took money from him. They didn't have to take money from him, bro. Drake already, they make so much money off of Drake. They were always gonna make sure that they recoup because he just signed a new deal. They gave him a lot of money, but at the same time, he 360'd out. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna make sure that it's even better for them if Drake end up in the red because now he's gonna be in debt to the label and they end up winning, you know what I'm saying, all the way around. You know what I'm saying? So nobody ever, I don't care what business it is, bro. It could be sports, it could be whatever. Nobody wants a cash cow to be able to walk out of their deal while they on the ups and in the green because now they got more leverage to where if somebody else want to deal with them, they could get more money. They want to at least let you, you know what I'm saying, look like you falling off or something, you know what I mean? So hopefully you'll want to just at least at the most or at least or most stay with that same label. And that way they can continue just to, you know what I'm saying, rape your pockets or, that's just how that just be going with that. But I don't want to get too off because we can go on and on just about that. But he got fact. He's still saying facts are like points of the whole thing. End of the day, they making shout out Chrissy Love in there. I see she in the chat right now.
Yeah, shout out to Chrissy Love in the building.
But just to touch back on what I was saying with the whole, like I say, the Young Thug, the Ratlanta, the whole, they really turning. If you like you say, Atlanta history is deep, bro. When we talking about black men.
I just thought about that,
Atlanta
right?
Atlanta was never supposed to be what it is. It was like a college town and shit, like niggas.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
But what I think what happened is this: it was college town and all that. You know what I mean? What happened was people from California started going out there, bringing the gang culture out there. Then next thing you know, they gang banging in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Then that's where you see the emergence of the young thugs that's supposed to be a blood. You got the other people who I won't say that you could just they supposed to be the Crip factions and all that, but all that starts, and now it's about, okay, we got bodies, we the hardest, we sell the most dope, we do that. Soon as you start getting it to where we competing on that level, and now it ain't about how many businesses we opening up. It's not about how many people we got graduating in financing uh you know uh they properties and getting scholarships and all. It takes away from all that. It just turning straight street shit, you know what I mean? And that's what Atlanta then got dumbed down to. And
Mm-hmm.
it's all by design, like somebody said in the chat earlier, bro. Like, like, yeah, we talking about this right now. It's a hot topic, but it gets deeper than just that. These dudes is literally just pawns, man, because we seen Young Thug get ushered in the game by Leor Cohen. Leor Cohen end up leaving 300 and entertainment and going to YouTube. Basically, he's like the chairman or whatever, like the exec, one of the head, dudes in YouTube. Now that he's in YouTube, he's focused on just the all around, because YouTube is more watched damn near than television, bro. Like everything is just on YouTube. Like I don't even see a point in paying. I don't watch TV anyway, but if I did, it wouldn't be no point in me paying the cable bill, because if I
And now YouTube, they sell like a YouTube TV where you can get cable through YouTube, and they have a YouTube Premium where you can make it ad free. And they just had an NFL game on YouTube yesterday, and so now the have you heard of cut the cord? That means like the cable stuff is dead because people is watching YouTube, and then now they going towards Netflix. And shout out to Terrence Bud Crawford. He'd find Canelo this weekend. They streaming it live for free on Netflix. For people that have a Netflix membership.
yeah,
And then Amazon Prime. So all of these streaming outlets, they're challenging the cable. So now people gonna be like, see, when we grew up, it was all those shows that people used to watch, like Family Matters and Cosby Show and Fresh Prince, and some of the cartoons on Nickelodeon. People used to run home for those and used to wake up early Saturday morning. Now you can just hop on YouTube, and if it ain't on YouTube, you'll find it on Twitter. You can search on Reddit. You feel me? Somebody then uploaded it on that. They got all sorts of pirate sites, and not advocating piracy, but they shut down a major illegal sports site called Stream East. But everybody, they have a link all the time, so now people like, well, why the hell I'ma pay? You feel me? And now it be so many where people, it's just like, we grew up in the era where we played video games. Now a lot of people like watching people play the game. So even
I
with like sports, yeah, even with sports, right? Now, instead of just watching the game, sometimes people want to watch the game, but they want to hear people like us talking about the game. You feel me? So uh, like the way people consume media has completely changed.
Facts. It definitely has, bro, and that's why I say it really benefits the corporations more than the entertainers, because nothing's in the physical no more. You know what I'm saying? Like how it was in the '90s and plus early 2000s. So now we got to be more dependent on them, because they make it to where, instead of people having to buy a physical copy of something, everybody could just have one device and stream everything also off of it, which puts them in the power of, you got to go through them to get yourself heard. Then you got to get paid through them, because this is how people are choosing to consume your content. They're not gonna buy a DVD. They're not gonna buy a CD. They gonna stream it. They just gonna look on YouTube, which also makes it harder for people, because now people have less appreciation for the art that's put out here, because it's so just uh shot out at a rapid speed, and you don't have to really sit there and
And then
Yo,
also think about this too, bruh. Because I don't even and this you can unmute from Braxton, because I can guarantee, I bet y'all don't even know the last album physical CD that y'all bought. So if you can think of that right now, I would like for y'all to tell me. But before y'all do that, I just want to say that we used to truly appreciate that, bruh. Like when you bought the CD, bruh, if that's what I was about to get to. Once you open it up, if the plastic was cracked, I would take it from an old CD case and swap it. So it's like, nah, this the old school Snooper, this the classic Chronic, or you feel me? This the Richie Rich or the Yuck Mouth. You feel me? I can't have a cracked case on that. The booklet, you feel me? The booklet, the back cover art. Not only that, listen to like a lot of those old Pac albums. Like the minimum song was like 5 minutes. Like that was the minimum. Now, you know, you got people like Boss Man D-Lo and other people where they're saying like their songs are like 2 minutes or sometimes less. So that's insane. So now I remember I was doing I was in the studio. This was a couple years ago with someone, and then they was making verses, and then the way I grew up, it's like the 16 was damn near automatic. It was like the 16 was automatic, and then maybe a 24 or 32 depending on the format of the track. Bro, they straight told me like 16 is like, damn, you want to be rapping for that long? That's what they told me. They're like, damn, why you writing your verse so long? I was like, 16 is long? I was like, damn, and this was years ago. So I could only imagine what they think now. It's just like if you send a thoughtful message, people will be like, man, why'd you send me a novel? It's like, bro, I can't abbreviate everything. If you want me to say some real game, I can't say that in one sentence. And then you send a long thing. Man, I ain't reading all that. Okay, well then stay dumb, nigga. You feel me? But Braxton, what was the last physical CD you bought? You there, Braxton?
He might be on mute. He gotta unmute it, probably.
Yeah, you.
Okay, I thought I unmuted myself. My bad.
I'm like, what you doing, bro? I like, don't get shy now.
Oh no. But yeah. But I think the last physical CD I got, it was from AM Goodwill that I was doing an internship, and that was back in spring 2012.
Hold on, you said you got a CD from the Goodwill?
Uh-huh.
Who was it?
It was one was Black Eyed Peas CD, The End, and the other one was Eminem's it was Eminem's CD hit from his Encore album.
Okay.
Yeah,
shout out to the Goodwill. I be going over to the Goodwill, man. They be having deals, but sometimes you go there and I'm like, bruh, if y'all don't drop this price, y'all trying to be stinging for like regular prices. But sometimes you get some deals. But
yeah,
John, what were you saying, Braxton?
And another thing I was about to say, and now the last time me and someone has ever like burned the music onto a CD, it was in between 2008, 2009. That was that was the last time we ever downloaded music onto a CD.
Yeah, I remember I used to stay making them MP3 CDs because you have an MP3 deck and they had like 100 songs on the CD. You feel me? So I'll be sliding through with these CDs. It's like, how many songs is on there?
Using LimeWire and all that, yeah.
Exactly. BitTorrent, FrostWire, all of that stuff. What's the last CD you got? Physical that you got, John?
Damn, the last one. Man, I don't know what these cause physical, because we went through the phase where we started burning the CDs. I used to be burning them and reselling them and shit like that. But then sometimes if you couldn't get the copy off the internet, you had to buy the actual version and then just rip that one and just start to selling and burning that from the actual copy. But man, it had to be when the Get Rich or Die Trying came out, 2000 and
Yeah, I was gonna say that one too. That Get Rich or Die Trying. I
that.
had to cop that one, bruh. That
that,
wasn't even a question. Also, I had bought. I was buying the Carters too. You feel me? I
that
definitely bought.
but I bought the Carter one. I think I bought the Carter one.
I
All
bought the Carter 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, the Carter two. Yeah, the Carter two was had some shit.
The
After that,
Carter
it was
was
over.
fire. Yeah.
Yeah, after that, it was over with, bro. Carter two was going crazy, and Carter one. Yeah, that probably. Yeah, I bought the Carter two, probably damn near had to. I think. Yeah, it was like somewhere in between those. Whenever albums was coming out during them years, that was when it was like getting towards the end. But like I say, it was nothing like that feeling, and that's why I'm embracing bringing that back even now, because it's important for us to keep the art forms, not just music, but even just visuals. We got to keep the appreciation for it alive, bro. If we keep on just doing this streaming stuff, bro, ain't nobody really gonna pay attention to none of the substance that's getting put out, bro. It's dope content getting dropped every day, and it's falling on blind eyes and deaf ears because, bro, it's at our fingertips. Just like right now, I don't gotta stay on this live. I could just swipe up, you know what I'm saying, and go to a different, you know what I'm saying, press my finger, and I'm on a whole different. Just like you know what I'm saying, your whole album is available right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you got 18, 20 songs, but the first two songs I really wasn't feeling. And you know what? I got access to every album on the planet right now. All I got to do is click outside of that. And now, see, when you had the CD or the tape or whatever, you got that in your deck at one time. So you ain't just
Remember,
gonna
there was intros, there were outros,
it,
skits.
yeah,
I don't see none of those on no streaming. They're not no intro. People don't put really intros on
rare.
Spotify and things like that.
It's
So,
very rare.
but it's twofold though, right? Is this is the part where, because when we, and this is why they made sure that we are not in charge of our culture. They want us to be the face, the mascot, and mass produce the culture, but they are basically reaping the benefits and have the like the authority over it. So yeah, we dictate the culture based on, what's relevant, what's hot. We set the standard in terms of style and dopeness, and everybody mimics and copies off us. But then you always look at the hen at hand, and it's somebody like Leor Cohen, where
Mm,
if you talk about these people, they'll talk about black on black crime and degeneracy and all this other type of stuff. And then if I say, you know what, I agree with you, and then, but hold on, how are you against black on black crime, but that's the only music that you put out? How do you say that you're against degeneracy, but you overlook other artists, and then you try to prop up Sexy Red and Ice Spice, and every uh artist has to be scantily dressed, twerking and rapping about bimbo baby bop rap? You see what I'm
right.
saying? So this is where the contradictions come in the people, the real niggas, the street niggas, the people, since they're beholden to these people. They are saying, hey, these people, I'm not going to get a big check from you, but I will get millions from them. So they'll sell out the collective just so they can get a big check to ride around and floss a chain that nobody else respects. Lear Cohen doesn't respect your chain. So you're going to go to the hood around poor people to say, hey, respect my chain, because nobody else will. Respect my Bentley. Yeah, you got the old model of Bentley, and you just made sure that the non-white person got the brand new model. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like you're willing to sell out for crumbs, but only because you're the big fish in a small pond. But once you leave out that pond, you look like a goldfish. So that's what people, they try to go into these little small ponds and be the big shark and the big whale, but ultimately you're selling your community, your kids, and your lineage down the river for just like a couple trinkets and shillings. It's extremely pathetic, and it's cowardly as well, because You know, think about the stuff that some goofy people are willing to kill over. You know, whether it's, you know, you say something, you mean mug them, you scuff their Jordans, but you're not willing to kill over someone that's disrespecting not just you, they're disrespecting your entire lineage. So that's disrespecting you, your kids, your mama, your grandmama, all of that. You're willing to let that go. But if somebody says, fuck this street, fuck Logan Block, fuck O Block, fuck the low, fuck this, you know what I mean? You're willing to kill over that. I'm like, hold on, do you own property on O Block? Oh, no, you don't. Now they gentrified it and tore it down. So O Block is now no block. So what exactly are you repping again? And then you want to kill me for telling the truth? But stop me when I lied. But you really, niggas really want to stop me. You want to stop my life because I didn't lie, just so you can continue lying to yourself. And that's why I lie. Back to your point earlier, John, when you're talking about idolatry, right? It's a form of escapism. When people can worship these other people, they can live vicariously through them. Hey, I may not never make it to that, but look, Obama was our president. Yeah, he was our president and didn't do shit for us, and he basically gave us his ass to kiss. But he inspired, nigga. Obama didn't inspire me to do shit. Like right now, when you're over there taking care of your kids, are you doing that because of Obama? When you paying your bills, are you doing that because of Obama? When you start exclusive elusive, yeah, because Obama was president and he's the one who motivated to do. No, fuck Obama. His bitch ass didn't motivate me to do shit. So we gotta stop with this idolatry from politicians. I don't care if you like them. There's a lot of artists where it's like I love their music. Lil Wayne is one of my favorite artists of all time, but you put a mic in front of him about social issues, he sounds like a tap dancing Sambo. Young Thug, he got some slaps. You put a mic in front of him, he sounds like a tap dancing Sambo. So I'm not gonna just let that slide because, oh man, I really love this song of his. No, most celebrities are some of the most vile coons because they get their money from anti-black, white, Jewish, and non-black people. So in order for them to keep getting paid, they got to keep acting like, you know, oh, we ain't oppressed. It ain't no racism. And they got to talk like that and talk about black on black crime so that they can just keep getting money. You know, it's really, I don't know how people could even respect these people. And then people respect them because they got money. But that money is going towards what? Another car? Another chain? What is there to respect about it? Because right now, if I get on here and tell y'all about how much money I got, nobody would give a fuck. So why should I care about what money Drake has or what money Young Thug has? He ain't sharing it with me. He ain't building nothing to enrich the community that he's extracting it from. So why should I care?
You hear me?
And yeah, I hear you. I can't see you though, but I
B,
can
you
still
hear me?
hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, hold on, hold on. Let me see if it pop back up now. My camera. I might got bagged out and come back in because I had bagged out to check my notifications, and I think it. Hold on.
Yeah, just back out and come back in.
All right.
All right. So yeah, I just took John out. He's gonna come back in, and Lil Broody says most people go with the stigmas. They try to keep up with the trends.
I'm
exactly.
Back. You hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Damn, bro. Now I just forgot what I was finna elaborate on. You were saying something about like basically like how, the money that they got don't do nothing for nobody that just be praising it. Like when you was talking about the idol worship shit, bro. And that's the thing. It's just like the last time we was doing. Well, it ain't the last time because we be streaming pretty often now. But one of the streams we was on, we was talking about something about the Eminem, Drake, Kendrick. It was something about these artists, and somebody got in the comments like, "Oh man, well, but y'all broke, and this person is rich, and they don't." Bro. At the end of the day,
we don't know what nobody got, bro. We damn near all in the same boat for real. You feel what I'm saying? If people was really as rich as we is, would America even be the way? Like, bro, everybody needs some money at the end of the day. So don't get it in your head that because people got certain material things that you see them with, that they just so well off that it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If they continue to be successful or not, everybody is trying to win. And like I say, we let the material shit go to our heads to the point to where we really worshiping and praising folks based off of, oh man, this person drive this kind of car, or they live in this kind of house. So your opinion don't matter compared to them because but what do their opinion matter to you? You know what I'm saying? Shit, is they paying your bills? Is they finna share any of that with you? I understand if you eating with this person, it's like, nigga, this the team right here. So you know what I'm saying? If you trying to potentially, take away from what, the motion we got going on. Yeah, I'm gonna defend it, but don't nobody be having no dog in the fight, but they just be building these false connections with these people, feeling like they really know them. And you see them in real life, they won't even dap you up, shake your hand, man. You'll be heartbroken out here, but you ready to go to war, you ready to fight about it. And you know what I'm saying? This person's real, this person's fake. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, a lot of damn near all these motherfuckers fake, man. I ain't gonna sit up here and just act like, you know what I mean, any one of these, so-called celebrity peoples or whatever is just, what they cracked up to be. At the end of the day, I look at everybody like we human beings, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody perfect, and everybody got flaws. Now, some things are admirable about certain people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate certain things and I learn certain things and I'm inspired by certain things, but I never go just overboard. How these dudes be in these comments, bro. Y'all be on here really just glazing too hard, bro. Just to be a grown man, it's kind of scary. You feel me? I would say it's sad, but it's more scary than sad because you'll have grown men. First of all, right? I done seen niggas damn near 40 something, 50, that maybe probably even 50 something, so gone off an NBA young boy. I'm like, bro, this nigga like a teenager or something, bro. You sitting here like this your leader
In
or
his
something? Like,
early 20s.
how you getting influenced by a kid, bro? Like that's a
Bro
kid.
ain't even
Bro,
lived long enough. Bro, like 23, 24. Like, what could he really teach you? You 40, 50 years old, following a 22-year-old. Like, and little Brody says, oh, God, John.
they ready to crash. They like, no, he a real stepper for real, bro. He really this, bro. What, man? What do they, man? Okay, so what are we? You know what I'm saying? What
No,
am I?
but peep this. So this is another thing too, because this also shows you where NBA Youngboy, he got a lot of kids, right?
Yeah, a bunch of them. Yeah.
Bro came out, and salute to him because he was honest. Bro came out and said that he had herpes or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after that, chick was like, Shh, I don't give no, I don't give a flying fizzle stick.
Chris Brown too.
Don't I
Chris
didn't know
Brown.
I didn't know Chris Brown had it, but I know they're
Usher.
not the only ones. Yeah, I heard about Usher, right?
R.
But
Kelly.
see, people will be like, oh, they got it, but then they'll tell you straight up, and then bro, every time I just seen Chris Brown, he pulled up to a show, it was like 300 chicks.
Yeah, he rich, so he got the good herpes. You feel me? Get herpes with Chris Brown is cool, but don't get herpes from your baby daddy. But it's like, bro,
That's the world we live in.
it is, bro. Real
The
talk.
hierarchy of herbs.
Well, they said the whole reason he had beat up Rihanna that time was because she had gave him herpes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
Yeah,
if it's true, but it
I
makes
don't know if it's true, but I heard I heard something. I heard of mixed things, but I did hear that she was kind of getting her way because if you look at the Caribbean, they got a bunch of pretty racially ambiguous chicks, so they just said Rihanna was the one that's chosen. Like Jason Black always said, like even the people in the NFL, like you see them there, but those are not all the best people just because they were the best, right? They go through this rigorous process of interviewing people Look what they did with Shador Sanders, right? On the field, he was balling out, but then they were saying, "Oh, he's too arrogant," and so they tried to make a example out of him. So a lot of these institutions, you think it's always the best talent, but no, it's the people that will go to these Diddy parties. And I'm not the one to pile on Diddy. I think people talk about Diddy too much because Diddy is a small fry, right? If you think Diddy parties was off the chain, how do you think the Leor Cohens or what's that white dude who was hugged up with little baby? You know what I mean? He be throwing those white parties. You know what I'm talking about?
That had Meek Mill bunny hopping and shit.
Yeah, what's that dude's name? But you think his parties ain't the same as, if not worse than a Diddy party? The thing is, he got the complexion for the protection. But then,
Right.
so that's why people will pile on. Even the same thing with R. Kelly. Look, okay, you can say that he's a disgusting pervert. Okay, cool. Let's just say that. A lot of those people's wives and aunties and mamas, they were saying, here, here's my daughter. I got a young little cute daughter. Like, that's R. Kelly we talk about. Now we can get into and say that's wrong and that's disgusting, but why are they not being punished or demonized or locked up for them saying, here? Nia Long said when she was in high school, her boyfriend was in her 30s, and she said her mom was okay with it.
In high school, she had a 30-year-old boyfriend.
Yes, Nia Long said this. She did this, said this on an interview publicly, and it's nothing to be surprised about. We know that, publicly we won't condone it, but we've seen it, we heard about it. It's nothing to be shocked at. You know what I mean? And like, even when we was in high school, it was a lot of a lot of high school girls I know, they was messing with dudes that was definitely well older than high school,
Oh, you know about that?
25 and up.
Yeah, it was certain rappers coming out here, that I know for a fact coming to my high school picking up female shit. But and I always thought that was weird, bro, because I'm like, damn, but what be crazy is the females, bro, they was also they be attracted to the older dudes, bro. And I don't know if
That's what I was trying to say. Like I said, we can talk about how perverted R. Kelly is, but it was a lot of those chicks that were like willingly throwing it back. And depend on where you at. Some people pride themselves on whatever the age of consent is. So in certain states or in certain countries, like in Japan, the age of consent was 10. It's
that's
their culture.
uh,
But people don't talk about, oh, they have a culture of degeneracy. Now they changed it about a couple years ago, and it went from 10 to 13. So you can be 50, you can be 40, you can be
hey,
60, and if
man,
you see a 13-year-old girl, you can legally get with her. And someone can say, hey, that's gross, but legally you're within your rights. And out here, and people make this argument all the time, they even try to soften up the words. There's something called an MAP. It's a minor attracted person. So
uh,
in certain states, the age of consent is 16. So once again, you can be 50 years old
out of
and
pocket.
say, oh, I like this 16-year-old, and legally the cops can't do nothing about it as long as she's consenting.
They out of pocket, bro. That's what I'm
And
saying.
this is what they want to normalize. Even the term minor attracted person is because they saying calling them pedos is offensive.
To who? That if you're not a
Eh,
pedophile,
that,
how
yeah,
is that offensive?
that's what I'm trying to say. When you say they,
Uh,
the they is the same people that's running the record labels. The they is the same people that's running BET. The they is the same people that's running MTV and all these other ones. And it ain't people that look or sound like us, but they're
right.
dictating to us. And then when you reject it, then they try to come and say you're homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, and
All kind
you
of stuff.
know yeah, they just start throwing all sorts of phobics. I'm like, what the hell? I just no, it's just I didn't grow up like that. These are not my values. I believe in something different, and then they want to shame and shun you and try to act like and then they'll start conflating oppression, where they'll say, because that's what they say with the minor attracted persons. They're saying like they can't help themselves, like they were born like that. So who are you to judge them for how they're born? And then so now that's what they're saying with the trans people. Hey, yeah, I was a guy, but I was born a girl. So who are you to say that I'm not a girl? And then once you start challenging it, oh, you're transphobic, and now you gotta let us in the bathrooms and let us play sports with your daughter and all this stuff. And then now it's coming to a point where it's like, well, you were black, your family was enslaved, so this is kind of like your family was oppressed. I'm trans, I was oppressed. Your family was enslaved. Hey, I'm a minor attracted person. It's getting super crazy, bro. And a lot of people don't know the extent of how much people are pushing these things. They doing the same thing with illegal immigration, trying to compare it to slavery. Slavery is people being forced to come over here. That's not immigration. Immigration is you saying, damn, I can't get it popping here, and then you make the choice and you voluntarily come over here. But they're trying to conflate everything to slavery and civil rights and black issues so that we come and put the cape on for everybody. But those days are over, bruh.
Man, that whole rundown you just did just had me just, man, shaking my head, bro. Like we just live in a sad, just effed up society, bro. You know what I mean? And it's so crazy because normal is crazy, and crazy is normal. In the times that we live in right now, bro, I swear that's the best way to describe it. Because old school, just principles, morals, and just it's just people don't got no shame no more, bro.
And peep this, John. Now you get called an old head for that. Oh, nigga, you old, man. Times have changed, and I get it to a certain extent, right? You feel me? Because when we grew up, right, that there was those old, that get off my lawn and pull your pants up, son. Like we get that, but it's like not everything that's old is bad. We need a lot more of that old shit to come back. You feel me? Where nigga, you feel me? Oh man, I ain't trying to hear that OG. Okay, cool. You a YG or a YN, right? But you
Right.
live with your mama, you're sacking your pants, you don't got no money. All the shit you rap about, you ain't really doing, right? I got big bricks. No, you don't. You feel me? I got sticks with 30 clips. No, you don't. So it's like you should be listening to the OGs and trying to soak up game, but instead you want to listen to YNs who is just as broke as you, just as dumb as you. You feel me? Just as lost as you, but at least they're around your same age. So that's kind of
Right.
where we're at too, where some old people is like, man, f them kids. You feel me? And they look at the youth as kids and just like f them. And then a lot of the youth is like, man, y'all some old niggas, man. Y'all time is past. You feel me? And it's like, okay, you feel me?
No, real talk, bro. And it's like they, like I say, everything is just backwards, upside down, bro. And the main topic, like, 'cause like I say, we started off with the Ratlanta, and we were just talking about what's going on with that. And that's why I said it's good that this stuff get exposed, because it's like we don't need to be looking up to these folks. No way. Really don't need to be looking up to nobody but God. But I'm saying at the end of the day, we putting too much just trust on these influencers and shit like that, to the point to where they could just lead you to they could lead, how they could take you to the water, can't make you drink, bro. Motherfuckers nowadays leading you to the fire, bro, and they gonna let your ass burn, man. And folks just ain't seeing it. And I just be feeling bad for the youth, bro, because they don't even stand a chance if we just keep letting this shit just keep on escalate the way it's going, bro.
Exactly.
They don't stand no chance, bro.
They
Like,
literally are like sheeps to the slaughter. And that's why we really do got to make a stand and gatekeep, because I like the analogy of what you said. They're leading us to hellfire and brimstone. And this is the worst part. They're acting like they're leading us to the promised land. See, it's one thing to lead us to hellfire and brimstone. I don't want that to happen. But what I could at least respect is like, hey, F them kids, you know, I'm leading y'all to hellfire and brimstone because this is just y'all fate. I don't like that. I don't agree with that, but that I could respect. I can't respect where you know that you leading these kids down a road of destruction, death, and despair, but you acting as if it's just gonna be this utopia. You act as if you're gonna deliver them to heaven. You know what I mean? That I can't respect, because you know better. And if you don't know better, then you need to sit down and shut up and move out the way. Because then but the reason why they don't do that too, because it shows how much their money is meaningless. And because if your money meant something, right? Then why you didn't change the conditions of your area, right? Think about all of these people that be claiming all of the various blocks that I was talking about. Why don't none of them try to buy the block? I mean, I've seen Slim Thug do it and others. Why these cats ain't trying to buy the block or own property on the block? They're trying to bang the block but not buy the block. And then you bring the property value down on the block, and then they eminent domain and have the government come in and buy it and sell it for pennies on the dollar.
well, another thing too that I touched on earlier, I said what the females champion and what they want, they set the bar. So females, you don't gotta buy the block, and you can still get the females. You can still, so that be the thing too, bro. Our standards is so low because it's never really been too high. All you need is a pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying, and a a car. You know what I'm saying, or probably not even that. Sometimes all you need is some designer shit, or we just such in such a material world that people will look at you as successful as long as you have material. It doesn't require you to actually own something, to actually buy your block and all this, bro. And that's why it's good enough just to claim the block, because I don't gotta own it, because this chick gonna think I'm masculine and attractive if I stand out here with my shirt off and a blue rag on my neck, you know what I'm saying, on this corner every day. What I gotta work hard for to own the corner. I feel like I own it because I got all the benefits that I want. I got the female I want, you know what I'm saying? Then what? You drive her car, so you don't need no car. It just take away all the ambition from you, bro. Because like I say, it's like the little short achievement, the small achievements is champion trophies so much, bro, with our culture. And that's what we gotta stop doing, like males and females, because we all hold different roles of responsibility. And ultimately everybody got their own choices. So it ain't like we just can't only blame. I'm not only blaming females, but they gotta understand that, bro. They hold weight with this, bro. The women hold weight, man. If women started saying, man, I'm not fucking with no nigga wearing Nikes, bro, Nike stock would start dropping, bro. Niggas will stop wearing Nikes, bro. Let's just be real, man. If the females really stop fucking with, and I think I've seen this before, I don't know if it's actually happened in history or it was a movie or something. But the females went on the strike and they said we ain't having sex with nobody until this, and this, happened. They was doing it for a change. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was some ill shit because it's like, damn, bro, don't nobody even try to stand up to stand the chance and refrain from nothing no more, bro. It's just a free for all, and everything is just getting shoved down your throat. Pause. You know what I'm saying? With you look on the sports, you see sex and sex appeal type of stuff. You look on movies, you look up just whatever it is. It's like everything is just about material and sex, bro. And that's what's unlocking the dopamine in everybody. You get more dopamine from buying a chain and people looking at you like, oh my God, you got a nice chain, than actually owning your house, actually owning, you know what I mean, your car, owning, just owning anything, your own business. Bro, we championing putting trophies on the wrong stuff, bro. And like I say, this conversation could go even deeper and deeper because it gets deeper. But I feel like we put a good analysis on it and scratch the surface good enough to where it's like, anybody going through this stream just from front to back, bro, you get a good substance of, you know, uh a breakdown of what's really going on here.
Braxton, you were trying to say something?
No, I was just listening.
Okay. Um, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. And this is where the contradiction that drives me nuts is because a lot of people like to Bible thump and they like to talk about Jesus and what would Jesus do. But if we related Jesus to modern standards, Jesus would be dusty. Jesus would be broke, right? Jesus, by the description, I mean, do we even know that he was 6 feet, right? We don't know if he was tall. Like, how tall was he, right? So, like, so then imagine you got Jesus here, and then the chicks would be like, well, he ain't tall enough for me. This is Jesus we're talking about, right? So that's where it gets goofy because you want to act like you want a virtuous, heavenly, godly man like Jesus, but what you really want is Judas. I mean, right?
Yeah, facts.
So, and then think about this, right? Jesus was pretty much homeless, right? Um, there was what it was like, foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. That's saying that he was basically like a rolling stone, and they're saying that he voluntarily chose like a life of poverty and stuff because he was a man of the people. Now you can believe that this is just fairy tales and fables or whatever, but I'm speaking to the people that truly believe this. How could you believe that Jesus is God reincarnated? And Jesus was giving all of this stuff to the poor and doing all this stuff to the poor. But what do they say about the poor? There's no such thing as a free lunch. Jesus was giving free lunches. There's no such thing as a handout. Jesus dedicated his life to hand things out to people. Was he giving them a handout or was he giving them a hand up? Jesus was consistently known for borrowing stuff, such as a boat, right? A donkey, you know what I mean? Like, he was, hey man, we family here. Let me hold some. That's what Jesus was. He wasn't this entrepreneur. He wasn't some Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates type. He wasn't part of the elite boule. Jesus was just an average working class person. And he lived a life from the teachings, detached from material possessions. He relied on God's provision through support of his followers, right? He chose a life of intentional poverty. Now, this is just like the whole thing where, he died for our sins and all this stuff. So him choosing that life of poverty is essentially saying I can have more, but, I know that there's poor people out there. So I'm going to dedicate my life towards that. This is what people say that, hey, we need more of this in the schools. But why the hell do we need more of this in the schools when y'all don't even live by this? They used to talk about Jesus and God, take their kids to church and then go lynch black people.
Man, cold.
So what the hell more of do you want in there? You want more Jesus to talk about how benevolently he is, and then you walk out and call black people nigger?
Crazy.
And then think about this. Oh, we believe in heaven. So if you believe in heaven, why do you want to live in a segregated neighborhood? Right? If I'm black and I'm going to heaven, you white, you going to heaven, Asian going to heaven, and then what? Suddenly we just gonna be together, holding hands and singing together in heaven. Well, if we gonna be doing that in heaven, why we don't create heaven on earth? Does that make any sense? Yeah, we gonna be segregated. Yeah, we gonna police brutality. Yeah, we gonna dump drugs in your community. But when we go to heaven, then we gonna treat y'all right. Like, does that shit make any sense, bro?
Right. That's what I'm saying, bro. A bunch of hypocrisy, man. And it's like, we in times now, like, where it's like, bro,
either you see it stuff for what it is, or it may just be not possible for you to see it, or maybe you just don't want to see it. But no matter what, like I say, bro, it's inevitable that uh based off of how people are carrying it out in the world, bro, it's gonna have to be a big event. It's gonna have to happen soon, bro. That's gonna have to, collapse a lot of things, bro, because the hypocrisy, the double standards, it's just too much, bro, and it's been going on for too long. And I just know, like, a lot of times, have you ever heard the term like the streets let the streets clean itself? That's how nature gonna have to do with the world, bro, because it's just too much corruption. um Even the help that you would probably call for, they ain't help, you know what I'm saying? So it just pretty much all bad to like a large degree. And I believe that we're witnessing the destruction of what we know as normal, because it was never normal and it was never meant to be normal. What was meant to happen was what's been happening. Like they say, the revolution should not be televised, but you got a bunch of controlled um propaganda program type things going on, to where you know they got the upper hand, because they still got all the power of where it gets projected to, what time, who's involved with it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when we try to war with them through their own tactics, as far as like trying to rally on TV and do all that, bro, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to the basics, man. We got to get back to meeting up in real life, really talking to each other, putting these devices down that got just nothing but trackers and information that just gonna steal from you to try to solicit something to you and sell you something, so you waste your money. Realizing that our money is our power, and if we put our dollars together, bro, it really ain't no telling, what I'm saying, what we could achieve. But we gonna have to come together, because we up against too much, bro, with just in the world in general.
Now, do you see this image right here?
Yeah.
So this image, and this is for all the people who say, well, why do you want reparations? You were never a slave. I never owned any slaves. All of these people out here, it's safe to say that most of them, probably none of them, owned slaves. But that's because they couldn't afford to. If they had the opportunity, they would. So when people say, I never
Facts.
owned slaves, it's almost like, I never drove a Lamborghini. Yeah, because you can't afford one. But if you could afford a Lamborghini, you would be driving one. That's the real question. If you could afford a Lamborghini, would you drive one? Then see what their answer is. Okay, back in those times, if you were poor and you could afford a slave, would you own one? That's the question to ask them. How many
Right.
do you think they're going to say, no, even though slavery was normal, I wouldn't have done that. They would have done it, because they always make the excuse that, oh, well, America isn't the only place that has slavery. Well, America isn't the only place that has sexual assault, right? But you won't make the excuse that, hey, I sexually assaulted this person because they did it in Rwanda. They did it in Egypt. You wouldn't make that. You wouldn't say, hey, I'm a pedo because the Roman Catholic Church was pedos, and that's why I was touching those kids. But
Facts.
that's what they try to do with slavery. Well, there was slavery everywhere. Yeah, there was no gun forced to your head to do slavery. So none of these people own slaves, but they're here to line up to watch a black man be lynched. This is what it was like. These were normal gatherings for them. This is from NPR, and this was actually a postcard. So they would send postcards out of lynchings, and this is the post. This postcard is called "Token of a Great Day." So a black person is about to get lynched, and they're calling it a great day. And
Mm-hmm.
this shows how they organize these events. They would bring their kids there. They would have snacks and make a picnic out of it. And this was the lynching of Henry Smith in Paris, Texas in 1893. So I just want people to know that These are the people that say, hey, we are the high IQ people, and you guys come from a culture of degeneracy and violence and barbarism.
Right. Come on now.
No.
Cap.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've shown more restraint when they have would have shown us. We unfortunately treat other races of people better than we treat ourselves because we want to try to disprove the stereotypes. No, no, we're not like that. We're not violent, and then we'll try to worship, other races of people and put them on a pedestal to prove that we are just as loving people because it's just innately in us. But that works to our detriment at times too, because people use that to our advantage, and people are able to manipulate and say, oh yeah, you guys are nice after all, and they get close enough to stab us in the back. We thought that they were being nice as well because they really like us, but they just used our kindness to get close and then just extract as much things from us as they can. Culture, economic, social status, anything. It's all been a competition, and have been looking at it as like a collaboration. Yeah, we'll invite anyone to the cookout, but if you do a little Mexican dance, they ain't gonna say, yeah, you're invited to the fiesta, right? If you They're not, bruh.
Right.
If you go to give a speech about the Holocaust, they're not gonna say, "Oh yeah, you're invited to this Jewish bar mitzvah." But
Right.
then one white girl who might be fine, who might be twerking really good, oh, she's invited to the cookout. One white dude could do all the little NBA young boy dances. Oh, he's invited to the cookout. All he did was a dance. He don't support reparations. He don't support any economic investment, but he can do a dance. All right, invited to the cookout.
Right.
It's
You
Crazy.
know,
Go ahead, Braxton.
oh nothing. Well, how long y'all talk? Yeah, belittle that they still don't know, or decide not, or decide, excuse me, or choose not to know, is that if they did go with issuing out reparations, and if they did support any, and if they and if they were in favor of any type of economic support for Black Americans, that's going to trickle down towards them and other people in the country too. It's not going to benefit just only Black people, because the difference is when Black people were trying to help everybody, it was for the benefit of everybody. But whenever they did something for for someone, it wasn't really to help the other people. It was more for their benefit. You know.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, and
Yeah.
I'm about to play a video, but yeah, and that's why we're getting out of this flat blackness. That's why we're getting out of the people of color, minority, black and brown coalition, which is really a coalition. It never existed because, um, and this is why I was telling John the other day. See, even think.
Delineation is going on though, thankfully.
Yeah, thank goodness, man. That's been the best thing since sliced bread, bro. And actually,
Hmm.
speaking of that, I'm gonna pull up a video. I was about to go a different direction, but let me pull up a video. Yeah, but like these other groups, they unfortunately many just like to tether onto our lineage, but then they just want to discard it and not really stand with us and stand up for us. You know what I mean? They just want to just say, hey, you know, I have a family member who happens to identify as black, and that's why I want to say this word. But just think about the N word, right? Other people, they'll go around and saying, hey, well, I have the pass, right? But you think about passes expire, bro. uh You got to get passes renewed, and not all passes work everywhere, right? If you have a passport, right, there's regulations for that passport. You have to present certain documents and you have to get it approved. If you have a driver's license, if you take that driver's license from Louisiana and go to California, yeah, they'll recognize it, but say, yeah, that pass is no good here. You need to reapply and get approved for a California pass. So when people go around and say, hey, I grew up in Cali around blacks, or I grew up in New York or in Texas around blacks, I got the pass. Yeah, you got a pass from some Texas people. Yeah, that don't give you a Cali pass, you know what I mean? And passes expire. But let's just say that your pass is the gold standard and platinum. What pass are you giving me? Right? Black people, we love you, right? We're giving you the pass to say nigga. Okay, cool. What pass are you giving us again? Oh, crickets. So that's how it goes. Here, let us extract from us. Here, invite us to y'all cookout. Here, let us take from y'all culture. Here, let us extract from y'all community. And then we say, sure, no problem. And then you flip it. Hey, let us set up shop in y'all neighborhood. No. Let us extract from y'all culture. No. Let us have a pass to call y'all a slur. No. Where is the coalition? Where is the people of color, minority people,
Not
where
on
people
there
try to act
now.
like we all the same? Like we not all the same, and people got to stop with this goofy shit. So it looks like John got to hop off. John, how much time you got? Because I ain't gonna be up here too much longer.
Uh, shit. I just got some shit I gotta do in the morning time and shit. I gotta take my kids to a birthday party and shit like that. So,
Yeah, I'm saying, how much more time before you leave, or you got to drop down right now?
um, it's whatever. I just was letting you know. I'm not telling you like that you gotta cut it short or nothing like that. I was just letting you know that you feel me? Before I get, cause I get caught up in conversation, and we'll be on here just for some more hours. You know what I mean? Cause we got good topics and shit. So it's
Yeah,
whatever.
no, I gotta get up too, so I'll probably shut it down in like 20 minutes or so. So I'm gonna just play a little video right here. So let me just go ahead and rock this out. Give me one moment. This is a video from Tariq. Do Afro Latinas get a pass to say anti-black slurs? I would say no, they don't get a pass, but yes, anyone can say anything. But I have a mantra: all slurs matter. So if you, a nigga is a slur. Like, no matter how you slice it, if you saying that you okay with that, then you got to be okay with all other slurs. You can't try to tell me that no, we can only use you can only say nigga, but you can't call us no other slur. Nah, we ain't doing that. All slurs matter. But let's just get into the video. Hold up.
All right, we in the building, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're doing now, before we get started, I got a shout out. Named Imani Ellis, a black woman. Um, but yes, she also said it was you guys. Because Cardi B has said some questionable stuff before, right? Remember, there was a situation some years back. She called some black women some cockroaches or some roaches, something like that. So she's been, kind of accused of that before. And we kind of see this from some of the Latinos, even the Afro Latinos, even the non Afro Latinos. They get a little comfortable saying some things that would be considered anti-black. So the question, family, this is the question. Do Afro Latinos get a pass to use anti-black slurs? That's the question. Because some of y'all like running around talking about black and brown coalition, right? Y'all, the black, brown, and coalition people, y'all like that. And many of you black, brown coalition people, you've given them a pass. And a lot of the Latinos, Afro and non-Afro Latinos, hell, they don't have to have the Afro in front of it. The regular Latinos, many of them are kind of comfortable getting around certain black folks using anti-black slurs. Now, why do they do this? Why do they think they're comfortable with this? Well, because of a lot of Sambos out here want some of that interracial sex. They want some of that exotic Hispanic cooch, and some of the hood rats want some Rico Suave balls. So,
And that we don't touch on enough. Too many people in our community is willing to sell out the collective for some interracial cooch. So because they got a Latina that they think, oh, she's so exotic, they're willing to sell out the entire collective just to get some cooch. And the thing is, there's an endless amount of beautiful women of all races and ethnicities. The fact that you are willing to buck break yourself and sell out your community for a piece of cooch, that just shows how weak you are, how fragile minded you are. And yeah, a chick might let you pump and dump her or even let you wipe her up, but she's only allowing that because you've already submitted. You've submitted to another culture, you've submitted to another race and ethnicity. So of course they'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll take this dude because he's going to be subservient, right? So they get the black aesthetic. They get to say, hey, I'm not racist. My kid's black, or my kid's mixed, or my baby daddy's black. You know what I mean? They get all the benefits. And then what do you really get from it? Most of the times when people are in interracial relationships, they start distancing themselves from blackness, right? And start looking for reasons to justify it. They get with some Latina or some white girl, and now, well, my kids are mixed, and yeah, that's why I can't talk about racism or white supremacy or anti-blackness because my kids are mixed. And then when you call their kids mixed, they're like, my kids are black. Like, you just said they were mixed. Are your kids not half white, or are they not half something else? Yeah, but they're black. Okay, cool. So are they black or are they mixed? And then it just goes back and forth, where it just causes a whole bunch of unnecessary confusion, where it didn't used to be like this. When I grew up, even though this is a very racist thing of the one drop rule, but when I grew up, we would accept anyone as black, but the people would stand on blackness because even the one droppers knew that they were considered black by society. Now we have this thing of racial ambiguity where people like to try to jump in and out in cosplay. So somebody will be black and Mexican, and then one day they'll say, I'm Hispanic. And then the other day, I'm black. That's why I'm saying nigga. And then the other day, they'll say, I'm mixed because I'm mixed with black and Spanish. So I'm biracial. It's like, so which one is it? So, because all of these are different boxes, but they're trying to convince you that it's the same. When they give you the census, Hispanic is a different box from black. Black is a different box from mixed and biracial. You can't click. If I click the black box and you click the biracial box and say, I'm the same as you, nah, you're not. Otherwise, you would have clicked the same box. If there's a team and it says Warriors, Lakers, and Knicks, and I click the Lakers box and you click the Knicks box and say, I'm a Lakers too. You click the Knicks box. You're a Nick. You ain't a Laker. And then it's like, you can't tell me I'm not a Laker. Why didn't you click the Laker box? So now we're in a point where it's just these identity crises. And I don't think it's really a crisis that it needs to be. It's kind of self-inflicted. But John, get in there. Did you have anything to chime in before I let the video play again?
No, my bad. I was typing. I was trying to type something up, but I was listening. But no, I didn't have nothing to add into that right now.
Okay, cool.
There's a desire for sexual crossovers from some black people who give that stuff a pass. A lot of the Latinos, a lot of them assume that shared struggle equals shared experience. So a lot of Afro Latinos, they believe that having African ancestry, you understand, makes them part of the same struggle as foundational Black Americans. So they assume they can speak as Black people, even when they haven't lived the same unique experience as foundational Black Americans. You see? And the truth be told, a lot of them, they grew up in cultures where anti-Black rhetoric was normalized and just anti-Blackness, period. And in Latin America, anti-Blackness is very normalized. A lot of anti-Black language is casually used within these families, within their comedy genres. You know, some of those shows down there in Latin America show Black people in real funny style positions. So a lot of them might grow up hearing these little jabs and slurs that are anti-Black. They internalize them as just normal or just jokes and don't understand the severity of it. And also, a lot of these folks have a proximity to Blackness, and that's mistaken for permission. So a lot of these Latinos and Afro Latinos, they live in quote multicultural neighborhoods and they have Black friends. So they believe proximity to these Black folks give them the right to say what they want, especially if Black folks let them slide in the past. Yeah, the New Yorkers, y'all big on that. What the New Yorkers? Y'all New Yorkers gave that shit a pass majorly, especially in the 70s. Y'all gave them a major pass. Well, I don't think they were really running around. The Latinos were yelling the N-word in the 70s. I'm not gonna say that. No, they weren't doing that. But and more recently, but this proximity thing, because back in the 70s in New York, the Latinos knew they kind of had some act right when they got around the brothers. They got real comfortable within the last like 25 years with the Fat Joes and people like that popping up. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna put the bullshit on my New Yorkers. The Latinos really got on this bullshit out there within the last 25 years. The Fat Joes and the Takashis and people like that popping up. So yeah, back in the day, letting them talk greasy, that wouldn't have ride. They wouldn't let that ride. Oh, Rodney of Rivertown. Oh, let's get Rodney of Rivertown giving some thumbs down. Rodney, hop on in. Rodney looks like he disagrees. Rodney, hop on in.
Yes, I disagree with what you're
Oh,
saying because in New
goddamn,
York we've always been
Rodrigo.
a culture.
Fuck.
Yes, we're a culture in New York. We don't have this division. We're all together. I don't understand. And the Cardi B, as far as she goes, the situation, since she's started her career, she's been trolled by black women. She was started with she was antagonized to call the black woman a roach, and then just constantly antagonizing her about her race. She's an
Nobody
Afro
antagonizes her
Caribbean.
about her race. Nobody antagonizes
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah. Yes, they constantly troll her about, coming from Dominican Republic. They say she can't say the N word. And we're sick of it. We're tired of the trolling.
No. Y'all ain't nobody trolling. Y'all get to saying little crazy stuff like you got to pass, and y'all have that anti-black racism and that anti-black disposition, and you hate being called out for it, right?
No, no, I'm FBA, so I'm just, speaking in defense of the Latinos right now. But
And
Cardi B, she's been
and
called
like
out
I
by black
said,
women.
for you, FBA stands for fajita, burritos, and avocados. So you're not us. You're not a foundational Black American. That is what you're not, sir.
No, 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 but black women they constantly troll her. Like Nicki Minaj. All of them they always bother her. So they force her to retaliate this way. So they get violent with them.
Nicki Minaj is her fellow immigrant. She's a Caribbean too. So yeah, that's Caribbean on Caribbean violence, so to speak.
No, no, but she's not class because of your black supremacy. She's not considered. Cardi B's not considered a black woman, but Nicki Minaj is because I'm black and I say so.
What's black supremacy? What's that?
You know what you perpetuate in these rooms. Like I'm black and I say so. That's what you push. That's what you promote. So they say they allow. The Shea Butter crowd, they allow Nicki Minaj to be black, but they don't allow Cardi B to be black.
Mm. Well, Cardi B said.
All right, well, that's enough of that, dude. I just want to show y'all that. But yeah, he's saying, oh, y'all don't allow Cardi B to be black. Cardi B says she's not black. And this is the goofiness that I'm talking about,
Then
where,
then he tried to bust out and say Nicki Minaj, she has to defend herself against her, and she's black. You're like, nah, she ain't black neither, bro.
yeah, and Nicki
This shit
Minaj
is
considers
crazy.
herself Caribbean. Both of them consider themselves Caribbean. See, and this is what I'm talking about. Caribbean is not a race. Trinidadian is not a race. Dominican is not a race. But if you say that they're black, then they try to be like, no, I'm not black. I'm Trinidadian. That's what Nicki says. Cardi B, I'm not black. I'm Dominican. But then they'll get awards on behalf of blackness. And then when you say, you know what, they're not black, and then they'll be like, you can't gatekeep blackness. Who are you to say that they ain't black? And yeah, they are. Then you get people defending them and crashing out to call them black when they say that they selves is not black. So it's just extremely goofy. And that's what I'm saying. Dominicans they can check that they're black. They could also check that they're Hispanic. And then most of them are mixed race, so they can check mixed race. I can't check mixed, and I can't check Hispanic. I can't check Asian, or I can't check white. I'm blackety black, black, foundational black American Negro freedman. There's no other box for me to check. So people is just getting tired of people that they black on Monday through Wednesday, Hispanic on Thursday and Friday, mixed on Saturday and Sunday. It's too much, man. But did you have something to say, Braxton, before I shut it down?
This, well, basically, what's going on now has been going on. It's nothing new, but at least it's changing somewhat.
Yeah, it's changing extremely slow, but like you said, somewhat. I mean, slow progress is better than no progress. Well, we just got to keep getting the message out there, disseminating the facts, and
Right, right. Oh, and also relating to the subject, if you haven't seen Sinners yet, I highly recommend it because the film, the film in ways explains some of the it explains some of this topic in prior topics.
you know what, the centers, man, I've been hearing so much stuff around it, and a lot of people, they didn't think it was going to be as big. And Ryan Coogler, he's from the Bay, and he even identifies as a foundational black American. And he said that he was doing stuff, like the Black Panther and Wakanda, and he was doing all of this African stuff, but he was saying he was neglecting his immediate lineage here. So I did like that he was doing that. And also I think that he did like the New Orleans, like a Hurricane Katrina, which was a devastating documentary.
Yeah, Sinners was definitely a dope ass movie. I seen that joint.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
it 20 times.
I think it was like the number one. It was either the number. It was in the top three. I'm gonna try to look it up while I'm on here. Like the top three selling independent like horror film of all time, bro. That's how
Hmm.
good it was. But not only that, a lot of the horror films that, you know, they just remake, right? They'll like Michael Myers, and then they'll make another one. Jason, another one. Freddy, another one. Child's Play, another one. So they're not making a bunch of original horror movies. So the fact that this was like a horror genre suspense thriller, it just was a breath of fresh air for that genre. So Ryan Coogler and then also Key and Peele, like they've been getting into the horror genre. Actually, they got a movie called Him coming out. It's supposed to be like a quarterback that like I guess he kind of sacrifices himself to be like the GOAT. It looks pretty dope. But yeah, salute to Sinners though. But John, I'm about to shut her down pretty soon. Did you have any final statements you want to get off?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to the chat and everybody that came through and showed love. Always dope streaming with you, bro. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share the platform with you. And to the next one, man, tap in exclusiveelusive.com. You know, we got the latest and greatest on the superfoods and herbs. We got the best deals on the market when it comes to sea moss, when it comes to botana oil, when it comes to just you name it, man. We always upgrading and updating and add more stuff to the site, man. Check us out. We got merch on there. Tap in with me. Make sure y'all follow my YouTube channel, John Sinatra. And yeah, man, we got a lot of work coming.
Yeah, for sure. Braxton, what you got, man?
Well, the panel, it was another good one. It was informational, insightful, and always one of the best of the best. And I can't wait to catch you in the next one.
Yes, sir. You know, I appreciate you, Braxton, man. You always come humble, straight to the point. And, you know, you've been supporting for years, man. So I support my Louisiana brother. I'm going to have to make a trip out there, man. You're going to have to show me where I can get some good shrimp and grits or something, or a po' boy sandwich or something like that.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, and I do appreciate your words too. But as I always say, whether it's on panel or in person, I'm not the best or the smartest or nothing much at all in existence. I just bring whatever I can. That's all.
Hey, bringing whatever you can is really all you need. I mean, I wouldn't ask for much more than that. You know what I mean? As long as we all bring in what we can, then, you know, it becomes a beautiful thing. And it's funny because I was in a discussion the other day, and the person said, man, you know what what we need to form is a chain, because we all link at one spot, right? We don't need to focus on building like the tower, right? The Tower of Babel that goes up. Yeah, we can build that, but we don't need to focus on building that, because then it's too many people. No, we need to do this. We need to use that, and we need to use this material, and I'm available this time. Nah, what we need to focus on is building a chain, because a chain, it links, but it only connects in one spot. So all we got to do is find one spot that we connect and link that chain all across the city, all across the nation, the state, the region, the globe. And once we are linked and spread that chain, then we can start building high rises and towers and empires that way. But it starts with the linkage, you know what I mean? That connection, that connective tissue, that connective cultural creativity. So yeah, let's form that chain, let's link. And man, I appreciate y'all for coming by. I'm gonna go ahead and rock out. I got some more visuals that I gotta cook up and I haven't even brought up, but I'm gonna just hit y'all with this one and shut her down. Appreciate y'all stopping by.
Sure thing.
Yeah. Hey. B-Eazy, that dude, yeah. is burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. I bring the pain like an aftermath of a car wreck. It's a lot of niggas that say they real. To me, that shit is far-fetched. Most them cats is pussy. They really is on some feminine stuff. I ride up on them with the 40 ounces. The definition of adrenaline. What it do is sweet like cinnamon puffer. My niggas is rough like Willow Pass. Grew about on Mary Mac, but I used to hang on Willow Pass. These birds that I roll with, outcasts and misfits. Better zip lips when you get hit. When the fifth spit, flatline in your hit. Trap habits is black magic, no voodoo. Get the bands like Buku. For the cocaine, they go cuckoo. Most these niggas is foo-foo, so I'm shitting on them like doo-doo. I can't fuck with y'all like tofu. I'm just saying, man, like Goku. Bad bitches at the house with me watching Netflix or Roku. Fuck them both at the same time, and I swear to God, it was so cool. Street legend, real boss, I call shots cause it's still saucy. I know some G's to the bike crack on shite racket and fly back out the mill. When they hear me flow, they say I be burning up, burning up. Cookie to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. When you hear me flow, say I be burning